From Goblin Slayer, to Attack on Titan, to Maid in Abyss, everyone, myself included, seems to love a dark anime with an unforgiving world, where the people in charge of things are cruel, incompetent, or, both. And if that's sounding a bit too real, well, that's sort of the point. But sometimes anime feels a little, too real. And if you need a break from all that incompetence and cruelty, well, don't read the news. I mean, do read the news because it's important to stay informed, but also do watch that time I got reincarnated as a slime. And yep, this is a video about how that slime anime and other wholesome anime saved my soul. Okay, fun fact, I was really excited when I learned I was gonna do this video, and I love slime, so yeah, I brought my own homemade slime. Can I bring it a little closer? This is an ASMR channel now, you're welcome. Now, on its surface, Slime-san looks like just another overpowered main character in a wish fulfillment fantasy light novel. Harry Potter, you know the deal. We watch our untouchable hero defeat all the bad guys and win the hearts of every girl. This genre is referred to as naroke in Japan, named after the website Shosetsuka ni Naro, where so many of these series got their start. The site's name translates to Let's Become Novelists, and is a place for aspiring authors to post their stories. So basically, archive of our own, but Japanese, or Drunk Duck if you were a preteen webcomic geek like I was. Moving on. Everything from ReZero to Overlord to the Irregular at Magic High School got its start on this site, and that time I got reincarnated as a slime is no different. That's why its premise sounds so much like those other series. Our protagonist, Satoru Mikami, is a 37-year-old salaryman who's still a virgin, leading his dull, repetitive life. Same as it ever was. But one day, after dying protecting a friend from a random stabbing, he's reincarnated in another world as a slime. He's now able to copy the powers of any creature that he absorbs, meaning this little guy has potentially unlimited power, and is basically Kirby. However, also like Kirby, it's how he uses his power that makes this series special and differentiates it from its not okay peers. Instead of going after riches or glory, or like Momonga from Overlord, slaughtering a gang of marauders to gain respect, Slime-san is a goddamn hippie and just wants to make the world a better place. If he was in Momonga's shoes, he definitely would have just talked it out. So far, we haven't seen Slime-san kill anyone. Well, I mean, there was that one wolf he beheaded, but he draws the line there, I promise. In a genre defined by overpowered protagonists, Slime doesn't explore what indulgences and self-satisfaction you could achieve with ridiculous power. Instead, it explores what kind of good you can do with unlimited powers. The first person, well, dragon that our adorable protagonist runs into after being reincarnated is the storm dragon Veldora, one of the only 4 dragons in existence, and also a huge tsundere. Despite his appearance, he's really lonely after 300 years of being sealed away. This big guy's just looking for a friend. Veldora, buddy, just pour a glass of wine, blast some Mitsuki, and you'll feel better. I guarantee it. Anyway, he bestows the name Rimuru Tempest upon our protagonist, granting him further power. Rimuru swallows the dragon whole so he can analyze the spell, imprisoning him, and hopefully free him one day. When Rimuru saves the goblins from the direwolves by slaying the leader of the pack, he wins the loyalty of both groups. Then he uses his huge amount of magical energy to give each of them names. Naming a monster uses up some of your own magic, but because he's so overpowered, Rimuru can afford to give all the goblins a much-needed level up. Rimuru is like the most generous DM of all time. He turns them from feeble weaklings that the rest of the monsters beat up on to formidable beings in their own right. Nice glow up, Grandpa. But Slime-san isn't the only wholesome anime protagonist that's been healing my cold, bitter, horror-loving heart. Skull-faced bookseller Honda-san is another unexpectedly wholesome series from this season. It's an autobiographical look at the stressful work life of bookstore employees. And okay, it might not seem like it would be very relaxing. I know not everyone is like me, who happily ends the day unwinding with a corpse party game and isn't fazed by, bones. But counterpoint. This whole series is about not making assumptions and instead giving things a chance. So let's not judge this book seller by his creepy skull face. The series starts off with family and friends being asked about their thoughts on the bookstore staff. Although Honda's father says it seems like boring work, we see that it's anything but. The series is mostly a look at all the eccentric people Honda has run into working as a bookseller, from strange foreigners to hardcore yaoi fangirls. There's actually something really cathartic and relaxing about seeing Honda running around, just barely managing to keep up with his never-ending workload. Sounds like my college days. It's nice to feel like there's other people that also have got hectic lives, but who ultimately make it work. But the thing that really makes Honda-san work on a deeper level is its attitude towards these people. While we do laugh at them to a certain degree, the series also makes the case that there's something sort of admirable about them. A group that gets focused in the first episode is Fujoshi, which is the Japanese word for female anime and manga fans. But it's definitely a little derogatory. Fujoshi are often mocked or dismissed as annoying or cringy. Sounds oddly familiar. But Honda-san compares their passion to that of other people, like a guy who is maybe just a bit too happy about the manga haul he just got. The message the show sends is, hey, we're all pretty weird. And that's cool. Honda admires these fans, calling BL an amazing genre. And for the record, I totally agree with him on that. I prefer GL though. He even refers to one Fujoshi as commendable and powerful. So, anyone who was laughing at their antics in the beginning of the episode probably came away with a new appreciation for rabid BL fans. After all, their passion isn't so different from yours. Yeah, I'm looking at you, body pillow collectors. Honda-san also takes the time to sprinkle little heartwarming stories in. Take, for example, the older woman who started reading manga to connect with her anime fan's son. She ends up really falling in love with the medium. Given that she's picking up a volume of School Live, I'd say she's got some pretty damn good taste, too. Honda-san even fits in some solid social commentary. In episode 5, a gay couple comes in looking for some gay manga. While the store has tons of BL, Honda realizes they hardly have any of what are called gay comics in Japan. These tend to be more informational books about queer people and their experiences, and more often come directly from the perspectives of actual queer people. Think of things like My Brother's Husband. In an interview, that manga's creator, Gengoro Tagame, said that historically, gay media has been sort of a lesser form. People don't take it very seriously. It's viewed as sort of weird. To see the way that authentic queer perspectives and queer media are marginalized by publishers and stores was not something I was expecting going into this series, but hey, it's just another one of those pleasant, wholesome surprises Honda-san has in store for its audience. It would be easy to pin this trend towards more wholesome anime to the current season, but it's actually been going on for a while now. One great little subgenre that popped up is cozy cooking anime. Unlike Food Wars and Yakitate Japan, which are high energy, over the top, and make use of wild, inventive visual metaphors, there's some series that take a much more laid-back, chill approach. How about one of my favorite anime, Sweetness and Lightning? It's a heartwarming story of a father and his young, mind-numbingly adorable daughter coming to terms with the death of his wife. He learns how to make good food for his daughter that she's happy to eat. Every episode ends off with him, and sometimes the friends he's made along the way, cooking together and sitting down to share a delicious-looking meal. Perfect for someone like me who spends all my free time watching Gordon Ramsay cooking videos. Restaurant to Another World is another recent anime that puts a wholesome spin on the cooking and transported to another world genres. Each episode follows a customer who wanders into the restaurant. We learn a bit about their personal struggles, and then watch those struggles melt away when they're presented with food that looks even more incredible than Sweetness and Lightning's, if you can believe it. And if you want another example from this subgenre, just look to Isekai Izakaya. When you think about it, putting this wholesome spin on the cooking genre makes perfect sense. What's more warm and relaxing than watching a nice meal getting prepared? Well, besides eating it, of course. We've seen all sorts of neat genre subversions that make things just a little bit cozier. There's My Love Story, which breaks away from the typical shoujo storytelling to give the big guy a shot at romance instead of the pretty boy. Then there's Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. At first, it feels like an ecchi comedy anime with strong fantasy elements, but it's actually an incredibly endearing story about an unconventional family coming together and to improve the lives of everyone involved. Even with a setup as ridiculous as, haven't you heard, I'm Sakamoto's, there's wholesomeness to be found. Sure, it's hard to relate when the main character goes around being literally the coolest person in existence at every point in time, but the coolest thing about Sakamoto is how he helps everyone he runs into overcome their personal hang-ups and become better people. So if you're looking for the perfect series to watch with a warm cup of cocoa during these cold winter months, or just something to complement the darker anime in your watch list, give one of these series a shot. and be on the lookout for your own unexpectedly cozy gem. I'm your host, Dorrie, and thanks for watching Getting the Robot. It's comfy in here.